are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
So this is the last Madea movie.
Yeah.
I have to ask, what was it like having that conversation with your accountant or business manager? And did they pull you aside and said, we need to talk?
No, it's never been that. I've always been a person that's made my own decisions of what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. And from the beginning, I knew that this character had a purpose for me. It was a purpose for a lot of people, but also for me in business, it had a purpose, and I think she served that purpose, and it's been wonderful.
What was it about now as the time to retire the character? Had you thought about doing it sooner?
I had, but I wanted to finish the studio first, so I just finished building the studio, and I'm turning 50 this year, so I don't want to be her age playing her, so it's about time to just let it go, hang up the dress.
You brought up the studio. It's something I actually wanted to talk to you about. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
That is an amazing, amazing achievement.
Thank you.
So what is it like owning a 330-acre studio with your name on it, which has all this amazing production coming to it?
It's been phenomenal. It's been encouraging. It's been just every dream that I could have imagined. It's also a huge responsibility, but I wouldn't trade it for anything, and I'm grateful for every moment of it, for sure.
Well, one of the things I'm curious about is Atlanta is known as a great state to shoot because of the 30% tax rebate. Are you, before buying the studio, are you sort of talking to like the governor or the government and saying, hey, is this tax rebate going to stay? Because it's kind of integral for so many things coming.
Yeah, but also the great thing about my studio is it's proprietary for me, and I got the very first tax credit ever given in Georgia. So I was there filming before, so I've been on the forefront of fighting for that tax credit for a long time. But if I hope it never goes away, because it has changed the entire state, and billions of dollars are coming into the state because of it. So it would be foolish to get rid of it, in my opinion, but my show is proprietary, and all of my shows are going to be there.
My last thing for you, when you're signing that contract to buy that, which must have been the biggest thing you've ever done in your life, how nervous are you when you're actually signing on that dotted line?
The great thing about my life is that I grew into it. You know, it's like signing for your first house. That's $100,000. Once you move to your next house, it's easier, and the next house, if it's more expensive, it's easier and easier. So I had growth up to it, so it wasn't that big of a responsibility. It wasn't that big of a deal at that moment. I was just, again, thankful.
You got to work with David Fincher a number of years ago, and I'm curious because he's brilliant. What did you take away anything from that experience as a director that you sort of applied to the things you've worked on since then?
Not Madea. Are you kidding me? No, there's not a damn thing in Madea has anything from what I learned on Fincher. But I did in Acrimony. Just in talking to him and Ben Affleck, those guys are brilliant, man. And listening to them talk and their passion for lenses and lighting and nuance and things that I hadn't ever thought about. So I put some of that in Acrimony, thinking about my experience with them. I actually wrote that movie after doing Gone Girl. So yeah, he was very, very inspirational for me. I loved working with him. He does 50 billion takes, but I love working with him.
Yeah, I think he's my last thing. You're doing a tour right now. Whose idea was it to do 3 shows in one day?
You know, the thing about it is this show is very, very expensive, and I should have just did an arena tour, but I don't like playing arenas. I want to go back to the theaters I started in, and they're much smaller. So to make it work financially, I'm like, sometimes we got to do 3 shows, and you know, the cast is all for it, I'm all for it, so we're making it work.